Today I want to get back on my high horse. I want to speak not of grand strategy nor of diplomatic finesse, but of the man who has turned cowardice into a high art form, the man whose absence from the Istanbul Peace Summit was as predictable as his shirtless calendar and twice as embarrassing. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, Tsar of tardiness, Emperor of evasion, Supreme Chancellor of the Skip the Summits League. Let's be clear. The Istanbul Summit was not a bacchanal or backslapping Western leaders' assembly, though there were no doubt a few canapes and lanyards to slip into and slip on. It was a serious effort to halt the ebullition of war which erupted at Putin's demand in 2022 and has cost Ukraine its cities, its citizens, and its peace. And where was Putin? At the back, so pushing things onwards, nowhere to be seen. Not a hologram, not a fax, not even a carrier pigeon with a sniffy note from the Duma. Putin's refusal to attend the ceasefire talks might be mistaken for caution. It's not. It's the waftage of drones from Moscow posing as some kind of global phallic virility, a bizarre ritual of aerial overcompensation to persuade the world that he is still breathing, which of course he's not. The truth? He cannot find a big enough container, a yak-dan, if you will, capable of transporting himself, the smeg fridge he's installed in, every bunker he's hiding in, and his ever-expanding ego from the Kremlin to Istanbul. There's nothing big enough to contain him. It's not cowardice. It's convenience, a diplomatic carry on at your convenience. Oh, I say. This is not a man of war. It's a man of hide and seek. He has played no visible role in real diplomacy since the first invasion, merely a tarriance in his own bunkerous bubble, filming lukewarm addresses that appear to have been edited on Windows XP. Zelensky, to his credit, turned up in Turkey like a statesman. Putin couldn't be bothered to zoom in. At this rate, he'll soon be replaced by a wax figure wheeled out for photo ops, while some minor apparatchik drones through, quite literally, his speech from behind a curtain like the Wizard of Oz with frostbite. Hello, wicked! We must consider Putin's absence not merely as political decision, but as part of a pattern. All these peas. Because Putin, of course, peeing in the corner without regret and without restraint. The refusal to be seen in rooms where he might be intellectually or morally outgunned. It's a kind of insecurity rarely seen outside regional amateur productions of the Scottish play. He sends drones and missiles, but he cannot send himself. His war is now theatre, a poor one. All shadow puppets and smoke. He should hitch a lift, Baron Munchausen style, on one of those drones. There are many words for his absurdity, but the most concise is cowardice. And his masculinity is the global equivalent of a roided up gym rat who refuses to enter the ring unless his opponent is tied to a chair and blindfolded with his own national flag. Why the no-show? Perhaps because he fears having to face the stark truth that Russia is hemorrhaging economic stability, oil and gas revenues have plummeted by nearly a third since 2022, and the latest sanctions on his shadow fleet are turning that vaunted Russian bear into more of a shivering badger in a knockoff Ushanka. 40% of Russia's federal budget now goes on defence. Social care has been halved. The ruble is so limp it could moonlight as a piece of damp lingerie. And yet Putin behaves as though victory is just one more conscripted teenager away. Keir Starmer, not known for rhetorical thunderbolts, did finally unleash a modest little strike today. He declared that Putin must pay the price for avoiding peace. And quite right. It's time the international community stopped playing charades with a man who treats ceasefires like optional RSVP dinner invitations. Putin has dithered, delayed, prevaricated, pirouetted around responsibility while leaving a blood-slick trail across Europe that he began. He doesn't attend summits because summits come with mirrors, and Vladimir Putin doesn't like what he sees when he looks in a mirror. We must not mistake the tarriance for tactics, nor his ghostly absence for gravitas. What we're witnessing is not a master strategist, but a man increasingly frightened of being unmasked as a fantasist. Less Rasputin, more Mr. Bean with a nuclear arsenal up his bottom. So, let's say it plainly. Putin's failure to attend Istanbul is not just a diplomatic slight. It's the final shriveling proof of a man unwilling to face the peace he claims to want. It's the final shivering proof that Putin no longer exists. His cowardice is no longer strategic. It's habitual. It's terminal. And if he thinks history will forget that he chose drones over dialogue, flaccid defiance over peace, fantasy over presence, then history, I'm afraid, is going to surprise him.